Es que sí, 50 minutos para mandarlo.
¿Ah?
Es que sí, 50 minutos para mandarlo.
No, 1 hora y 50. O 2 horas.
¿Ya está 12?
Es hasta las 11:59. Ok,
Buenas noches.
te odio.
¿Cómo van a empezar?
Empieza. Hay unas patrullas en tu casa para abajo.
RT, ¿ah?
Hay unas patrullas en tu casa para
Mierda,
abajo.
ven para acá.
Sí. Y como no dejan pasar por ahí, tienes que volverte. O sea, ahí hasta tu casa, que hay claramente.
Good evening. Today I'll be talking about the dangers of riding a motorcycle. I chose this subject because I've known too many people involved in motorcycle accidents, and I believe people don't realize the danger they're actually getting into when they ride motorcycles. They don't realize how not being careful can get you killed in an instant. It is something I feel I need to share with you all, and hopefully I can reach out to you and anyone you know. Motorcycle deaths accounted for 13% of all motor vehicle crash deaths in 2013. In 2013, there were about 8.4 million registered motorcycles in the US. That means that out of 36 people that you know, at least one rides a motorcycle. South Dakota, New Hampshire, and Iowa are the 3 states that has the most bikes per capita, with Florida getting in 24th spot on the list. Now I'm going to talk to you about the pros and cons of riding a motorcycle. There are a few pros to riding a motorcycle when we compare it to driving a car. First, it's a lot cheaper. It's smaller, it has much less parts, so it's easier to assemble it, thus making it cheaper to buy. Gas expenditures are also less due to the weight and size of the vehicle. Unlike car engines, which consist of a maze of tubes and other stuff, the engine of the motorcycle is pretty simple. It's surrounded by a plastic box. It's definitely more fun to drive a motorcycle, to feel the wind blowing through your hair and everything, the adrenaline rush you get while driving it. It's actually really good. But another good point is they're really flexible in traffic. Was talking traffic jams, we all get jealous because we always say the motorcycle's splitting lanes, they're getting ahead of us while we're stuck in the car. They're easier to park due to its size. Motorcycles can be left pretty much anywhere, and they can stop pretty much anywhere. Not like a car. Like if you stop in the middle of the street, you're gonna stop traffic. Now I will talk to you about the cons. Motorcycles are a fair weather friend, meaning if the weather is not actually perfect, the conditions are close to perfect, you may or not be able to drive the motorcycle. You have less space to store things. You only have the space under the hood if you want to go in the back, so it's not good when you want to transport things. Pretty much every time you put a helmet, your helmet gets messed up. And you need specialized driving a motorcycle. The endurance of motorcycles nearly half of what a car can endure regarding miles driven. And lastly, there's a safety issue. Many motorcycle accidents lead to death. And now I will show you some statistics about motorcycle accidents. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety shows figures of years 2013 in which 4,381 people died on motorcycles compared to 30,057 people in cars. We have to take into account that there are about 50 times more cars than there are motorcycles. For every 100 million miles driven on a motorcycle, there will be 35 crashes compared to 1.7 crashes while driving a car. While speeding, it's more probable to get in an accident on a motorcycle than if you're in a car. And if you're under the influence, you're more likely to get in a car as well if you're on a motorcycle. Accidents involving an invalid license are higher on a motorcycle than are in a car. The most impactful stats are these two. About 80% of crashes result in death on a motorcycle, compared to 20% if you're in a car. The probability of dying when in a car, involving a car accident, the statistics are going like 80% to 20% when you're on a motorcycle than rather in a car. On the other hand, helmets are not always required when driving a motorcycle. Depending on age and insurance, you may not be required to wear. And Illinois, Colorado, Iowa, New Hampshire, they're not required for anyone. But why not? Most fatal motorcycle injuries are head injuries. So these helmets laws need to be changed. Only in 2013, 91% of fatality injured motorcyclists were helmeted in states with helmet laws that cover all ridings. In contrast to only 24% in states with no helmet law. Lane splitting is a thrilling activity for motorcycle riders. Driving between lanes or cars, keeping traffic, there's a large gray area regarding this issue, but this isn't seen as illegal in a lot of states. But sometimes you can actually get a ticket for it. It won't be for lane splitting, it will be for reckless driving. It is illegal in Florida, but completely legal in California. It is simple. Wearing a helmet gives you 30% more chances of living after motorcycles accidents than when you're not wearing one. Today, I've informed you about some general motorcycle facts in the US, the pros and cons of using motorcycles, and statistics involving injuries, fatalities when comparing motorcycles to cars. With that being said, I hope I have made you all aware of the importance of this topic. I could tell you to go to change.org and search for the helmet usage law. But more importantly, I want each one of you to go and tell your friends and family members about the dangers of motorcycles. If the conversations ever come up and your friends want to buy one, I want you to remember this text and figure and explain to them what they're really getting into. Thank you.